Welcome back to Sunny Side Up with Michael and Faith. We're a day late, but that's okay. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I'm trying to be more comfortable with the fact that sometimes things might not get on schedule, and that's okay.
Well, it's not like we were like just didn't want to do it yesterday.
Yeah, you were busy. You had work.
Yeah.
You worked on a Saturday.
I actually worked on Saturday.
So, part of being more comfortable with things not going on schedule, I'm accepting of it. And I even encouraged it because I was like, you worked all day. There's no way we're going to sit down and do a podcast and all of the house chores we had to do.
Our plan was I was going to go to work. You were going to like do some things. I don't know. Like you were going to do what you need to do. And then I was going to come home and we were going to do the podcast and then like clean the house a little bit. And I came home and you had already cleaned the house and done all of that. And you were like, well, let's just do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Where's my good husband award, huh?
I know. I was like, whoa. I get to actually have a relaxing evening after I had to sit at a booth all day. Like.
All right. Let's get into it, though. Faith, I have a little bit of a fun fact for you. And it's that there's some new information or new research that's come out that said T-Rexes might have actually ran like an ostrich does. How do you like that? Because I think, couple that with the fact, or with the potential fact that T-Rexes were actually feathered. Imagine an ostrich the size of a T-Rex chasing you down.
Yeah, I also, because I've been getting some videos about dinosaurs and stuff too recently.
Because someone's obsessed with the STEM side of TikTok, yes.
Yeah. I think it's insane that we don't actually know a whole lot about dinosaurs. Like, it's just a very educated guess.
Yeah.
On what they look like, what they sounded like all of those things. Like, we don't actually know. So all those pictures that you see is just a very, very good educated guess. Like, they're all, like, very muted, earthy tones. And I saw a video that said that we actually don't know if that's what they looked like because the, like, color pigment cells don't last that long, so you can't tell what color they actually were. So they could have been fucking purple for all we know. But you know what I mean? Like it's like the same idea I get when I think about space. It's just really hard to grab, like, for my head.
To wrap around,
especially with like the ocean too. Is like we don't actually know that much, and everything we do know is kind of, well, not about ocean space, but like dinosaurs, a very, very educated guess. And it's just really, really crazy to me to just think that our world is like that big and like we know so much information, but like a very, very tiny microscopic a bit of information in like the grand scheme of things. Like it's very insane to think about. And then I also saw a video about how like those, like you see the pictures of like dinosaurs and stuff in like textbooks and whatnot, and that, like, some of those were not alive at the same time. Like, there was different eras of dinosaurs, and some of them lived, like, thousands of years before other ones. And, like, some dinosaurs didn't. It's just, it's a crazy concept. I don't know.
Well, kind of going along with you, I was wondering, have you ever heard of the analogy of if you, like, condensed the entire life of the Earth so far onto like a 24-hour clock, how long humans have lived?
Yeah, it is a
You've heard this one?
I think I have.
It's that humans have only lived for 77 seconds of that 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a very, very, very short time. Like, just with like the dinosaur things I've been saying, space and the ocean and like all of that, it's just, I don't know, like it's huge. And like I feel like we just think, and like we do know so much about a lot of things. Like as humans, we have so much knowledge and like access to a lot of knowledge, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like a very microscopic portion of like what's actually there to know. And it just like blows my mind sometimes if I think too much about it.
Okay, well, let's move on then. We don't want you to blow your mind. So I have been in Vegas all week for a work trip. It's a conference I went to.
What a depressing shift of topics.
And I have a few things to talk about from this conference. First of all, one of the things I love about going to a city is that when you walk around, in a span of a block, you'll probably hear like 4 or 5 different languages being spoken. Mm-hmm. And I love that shit. But also, I'm always jealous when I hear groups of people walking by speaking another language because
Oh my God. Okay, finish and then I have something to say.
Because I always have daydreams about knowing a different language and then being able to have a conversation with some stranger in their native language. Growing up, I tried German because it's in my blood. My grandmother immigrated from Germany. Couldn't do it. Just it was also back in high school, you know. So like,
plus I feel like German's hard.
Yeah, maybe. But I was like, it's in my blood. I have to be able to do it, you know? And then I tried Spanish in grad school. And that is a permanent no option for me.
Can't you have the white boy?
No. It's the R's.
Oh. Which makes sense.
You can't speak Spanish without being able to do R's in the middle and end of sentences and being able to roll it.
Yeah.
And like R's in general are extremely difficult.
That's why I had trouble with Spanish too, is because I can barely speak English as it is. I have a hard time spelling and sounding out words and like pronouncing words. And so trying to do like R's in another language didn't work for me either. That's why I didn't like Spanish either. So I was going to say, like, on piggybacking off of that, for the past like week, I've, like, 2 weeks, been really thinking about getting Duolingo, and Michael, we could learn a language together.
No. I've tried the Duolingo so many times.
Yes, but if we do it together.
Oh, God.
We can learn German
language
together.
What language is on your short list?
That I want to learn?
Uh-huh.
There's, like, so many. I think one of the top ones I have...
No. Short list. What are the ones you'd be most interested in learning?
Japanese.
Oh my God, you are literally picking one of the hardest languages.
Yes, but I could speak with my family in Japan. And then I can, like, I have them help me, you know? Like,
don't lie. The truth is you just want to sit there and watch anime in its native language.
No. I've been wanting to learn Japan for a while. I just have never actually committed to it. But
you've been wanting to learn
Japanese. Yeah, I realized as soon as I said it. Japanese. I think another one I really want to learn is French because it sounds really freaking cool.
There you go. That's a beginner language right there.
French just sounds cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the top 3 I want to do are Japanese, French, and then is it just like Swedish? Like,
is it Swedish?
Because yeah, I want like like those would be my top 3. I also think Russian.
It is called Swedish.
Okay. I also think Russian is really cool. However, I don't have the voice to be able to make Russian sound good. You like have to be a little angry and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it would sound dumb.
All right, but I got a few other things we got to get through on the Vegas trip. Faith, I did something that I've never in my life been willing to part with money for. Because I always just felt like this wasn't an expense that I could justify to myself.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess what that was?
I have no idea.
Okay. Thanks for playing the game there.
I'm like trying to think and like...
I paid for a massage.
Oh!
I paid for a massage for the first time in my life. So I was walking from my hotel room to the conference space, and I saw that space, and I texted you. I was like, oh my God, wow. 20 bucks for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, go for it. I was like, no, I can never justify it. And then I remembered I had cash in my wallet, and I was like, cash is not real money.
No.
I can spend it, and it means nothing to me.
That's a joke, Mother. She doesn't like it when I say that.
Many young people feel this way, though. If you have cash, it's already spent money.
No, exactly. Like,
it's not
it
in your
comes
bank
out of
account.
my bank account. Because when I check to see if I have money to go do something, I look at my bank account. I don't think, like, oh, do I have cash? Like,
no one you have to submit an
spending
application for cares what cash you have. They only care about how much money is in your bank account.
Yeah.
So anyways, I paid for this. And I got to say, might be some of the best money I've ever spent in my life.
I bet.
She got in there. I mean, deep in there. I was in pain, but it felt so good. Like, she was getting in there. She's like, you have back pain, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, she's like, yeah, your muscles are fucked back here. And she's like, damn, she was like, at one point, she's like, damn, this is a huge knot. And I'm like, I know. And then she just really started getting like in there, just like kind of like all this, like, okay, moving my arm up like this to do this like this. And then she was like holding a spot. Best 20 minutes of my life, because I paid for an extra 5 minutes. We got to the end of 15 minutes and I was like, can I get 5 more minutes, please? And so she gave me 5 more minutes and I was like, worth every penny. It felt so good. But here's the thing, it was 15 minutes for $20, right? Mm-hmm. You can't get that price anywhere. No, everywhere I look, it's like $100 to get a half-hour massage, whatever. And I'm like, straight up, I just need you to get in there and unravel the massive knots I have in my shoulders, because I just
fly to Vegas every time you need a massage.
I just carry all the stress right there, and they just form these like solid, massive knots in my back.
That's hilarious that she went, you have back pain, huh? Like, she said, this motherfucker has a fucked up back.
Yeah. So, no shame on this next part, though. She was eating sushi and taking frequent drinks of water while giving me a massage.
Oh, hell yeah.
she went, I could hear her go, sushi. And one of the guys there would come over and feed her a piece of sushi while she was like rubbing out a knot. And I was like, you know what, girl? Hell yeah. I don't care. Go for it.
That's so funny. She was like, holy fuck, I gotta get some energy into doing this.
Man, if I could find another like massage
to eat sushi
like that, no, with that price, I would actually probably go like once every like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah,
because I do carry all my stress just right there, and it just forms these god awful knots that nothing can get out.
That's so funny that she was eating sushi. Yeah. That's so good.
So, the reason I was in Vegas, like I said, was for a conference. And I gotta say, you've been to conferences before, right? At least for, like, FFA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What were those keynote speeches like for you?
Gonna be so for real. Don't remember, because I never paid attention.
Okay.
Like, the ones for, like, FFA were, like, almost
Future Farmers of America, by the way.
They were almost the same thing almost every single time. And it just got to, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It was boring.
My experience...
And I was 16, 17. Like, I was... Okay.
My experience with conferences is that typically keynotes are the worst part of the entire experience.
Yeah.
Probably as miserable to sit through as is the travel to get to the conferences.
Yeah, I went to one FFA conference in, where are we? Oh, it was Nationals. So it was in Indianapolis, the National FFA convention, and so you had to sit in this like huge stadium, and we listened to this guy talk, and it was the most boring fucking thing I have ever listened to, that even my advisor was like, yeah, I think that's the only one we'll listen to. Even she was like, holy fuck.
Like, it was a keynote or a presentation?
I think it was like, because it was like the opening. It was like the opening for the convention, and she was like, we won't come to another one. That's the only one I'm going to make you guys come to. And I was like, thank God.
My problem with keynotes are that they always sound like they were written by someone who writes self-help books.
Yeah. Like, they're very, like, preachy.
Preachy. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... That's not the word I had come up with in my head. But I think that's a pretty good descriptor of what they do sound like.
Yeah. Like, it sounds like... And I know it's just because, like, they can get really passionate about what they're talking about. But it sounds like a pastor on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, just like the... I don't know how to describe that. I think
they're preaching the gospel of whatever value or belief that the point of the conversation is.
Yeah.
Agreed. I just feel like also on top of them being so biblical, or I guess biblical
and preachy have those are different,
slightly different connotations. On top of being so preachy, I just feel like they have no information of value to give.
No,
ever.
Exactly. It's kind of just like, this is like, because it comes off so preachy, a lot of it.
This could have been an email.
Yeah, or like, it's very personal to them, because it's like, at least the ones that I've gone to with FFA have been reflective on like their life and how they got there, and like blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think that's because they're speaking to the youth.
No, exactly. Like the ones like that,
For you.
And they've come off just very. Oh, what was the word I was gonna use? Like almost like testimonial. Like, this is my story. Like, it's like, okay, but like, can we like anything else? Like, I don't really want to hear like sob stories over and over.
So I've never been to a youth convention, a convention for youth. I've only been to like professional organizations, and like when you're out of high school, like, and work ones,
because these are still high school. I will say it's funny though. One of the national convention we went to. I think actually a couple of the people that spoke, I actually don't remember, but like I followed them on Instagram because, as you do, you think that they're so cool. The two of them were like best friends, and one of them came out, he's gay, and then became a drag queen, and started doing all of that. And then the other one like came out as like lesbian, and she like chopped her hair off, and they like did these whole things, became like the complete opposite of what they were. And one of them said something, and they were like, yeah, that was very stifling for us to be in that environment, and now this is who we are now. And I was like, hell yeah, you guys. Hell yeah. Like, they got out of because you're in that role for so long, because once you're in it, you're committed. Like, you're committed to it for like a year or two or something.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Come arrest you for not going to a meeting?
No, like, they were like they were like some of the national
yeah, exactly. What are they gonna do if you just abandon your post? Nothing.
Well, I don't know, but like, you're in that environment, you can't really. I understand them not feeling like they were able to like express that part of themselves, because FFA is a very like it's mostly conservative.
Right. I'm just saying, like, no, like, in that position, you're definitely free to walk away. You might have made a commitment, but what are they going to do? Haul your ass to jail?
No, exactly. But I think, yeah. So they like finished, and then after they like did that, and I thought it was so funny. I was like, yeah, guys, as you should. Like, this is great. So.
Did I finish my burrito saga with you? Did I tell you everything I had to go through?
I don't know.
So, while I was in Vegas, I had to figure out dinner for myself on Tuesday night. And I was like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? So I ordered a burrito, and I was like, okay, a $22 burrito. This thing will probably fit in my hand because we're in Vegas, right? And I bought this burrito, and it ended up being the size of a small baby.
That's not an exaggeration, too, by the way.
It was
That thing probably weighed like 10 pounds.
It was very heavy. It was bigger than my head. This thing was, I was like, for $22? Shit. I had to find a way to preserve this burrito, because I'm not capable. Maybe in my prime, I could have eaten that whole thing, but not today. So I ate about, I don't know, like a half of the burrito, and I was like in pain. I was like, I got to do something. I'm looking around, and we're in a fancy Vegas hotel. So of course, the mini fridge is stocked from one side to the other with sensor controlled drinks. And a couple of food items. So it's like, I can't move anything because they're going to charge me $20 for a fucking 4 ounces of water, So I can't put my burrito in the fridge. So then I'm like starting to panic. I'm like, I paid way too much because I also got a drink. So all in all, I paid $50 for this dinner.
Also, I would like to say panic is an understatement. You called me and you were like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to waste this burrito. And like, at first I was like, oh, haha. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh, he's stressed about what to do with this burrito.
So I'm
like,
looking around.
You honestly were like panicking.
I paid a lot of money for this burrito, okay? So I'm looking around trying to figure out what to do, and I see an ice bucket. So I'm like, this is a terrible idea. Okay, so I took the ice bucket, then had to meander the halls in my pajamas looking for the ice machine.
That alone probably made you want to crawl into a hole.
No, thankfully, it was like 9 o'clock, so everyone was at the casino. Nobody was on the floor of the hotel.
Yeah, because 9 o'clock on a night in Vegas, they probably thought you were weird. Just going back to your hotel.
I get back to my hotel room with a bucket of ice, and I'm like, oh shit. So then I'm having to, like, I had to pull a bit of ice out, and then I had to use the salsa cups as a little stand to sit on top of the ice to then put my burrito on. But the burrito was so goddamn big that I had to, like, squish it down and, like, push the lid down as hard as I could. It's like, oh, this burrito is getting fucked up in this process. And I'm like, I just need you to fit in the fucking container. And I finally managed to get it down there. And I was like, well, shit. How long is this ice even going to last? So then I'm like, let me put it in a...
You had that how long is the ice going to last conversation with me for like 5 minutes. We like had a hefty discussion of that.
So then I'm like, okay, what can I do here? So then, I put it in the sink, and then I surrounded the container with the ice. I had to pull back out, and I was like, well, I could fill this sink with ice, but then I'm going to have to go to the ice machine like 2 more times. No, thank you. So then, and then I covered the sink with a towel, and I was like, okay, this should work. And it did. The ice went to the next morning. So then the next morning I went out, got more ice, brought back, refit up the stands, and that burrito was maybe not food standard safe cold, but it was cold by the time I got back, and there was still ice at the end of the day on Wednesday. So that I got to eat for dinner was my leftover burrito. And I was like, I thought about that burrito several times today. I was like, that thing is going to go bad. I'm going to get some food sickness, but I paid way too much to let it go to waste. It was a whole saga.
Plus, if you got sick, then you would have gotten out of some things, so.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. But if I had gotten sick, I could have spent more time on my true passion this week.
Oh, Lord.
Faith, would you care to characterize my true passion this week?
Can I be a little mean?
Sure. Let's see how mean you are.
Okay, Michael's spreadsheet.
Oh, way to just drop it right.
Oh, yes, his spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet that if you looked at it, you'd be like, damn, how autistic is this guy? That was my first thought. I will say, not to diminish anything that your spreadsheet, because it is a very cool spreadsheet. Like you have spent a lot of time doing formulas and everything, and I know like the sense of just like pride you got from that, because doing something like that and figuring it out is like the best feeling ever. And so I know that this spreadsheet is like so, like, it is very cool and you should be very proud of it. I just think that it's funny that you did it for a video game that you've been playing for like the past 2 months.
Okay, so let me explain.
That's where my comment comes from.
So as Faith is talking about, I started a new spreadsheet this week, and I probably spent at this point, I know that I spent roughly 20 hours, maybe a few. No, I'm going to say it's probably closer around 25 to 30 hours. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm thinking back to all of the moments I had My entire week last week, every spare moment I had, I was working on the spreadsheet. So I wouldn't doubt it if it was actually closer to 30 hours, because I did any time after the conference was working on it. Anytime between classes, I was working on it. Before breakfast, I was working on it. During meals or sessions where there was absolutely nothing for me to learn, I was working on it for a full week, Monday through Friday. So this spreadsheet is a comprehensive collection tracking for the game that we've previously talked about on this podcast, Elder Scrolls Online, ESO, which I've also become hyper obsessed with, and I'm also writing a walkthrough for already. And in designing the walkthrough, I was like, fuck, a spreadsheet would be nice. Fuck, a spreadsheet would be nice. Man, a spreadsheet would be really nice on this. And I was like, screw it, I'm just going to make the spreadsheet. Then I started making the spreadsheet. Then I redesigned several tabs over and over and over again. And then I was like, okay, stop redesigning those. Leave those, come back to them. And so I would go and work on something else. And I'd be like, oh, that's the styling I want. So then I would reapply the styling everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's a functionality I need everywhere. So then I'd have to reapply that styling everywhere. I have so many very complicated formulas in this spreadsheet that controls so much of it. Conditional formatting, grouping, auto updating like displayed text, replicating information into somewhere else, so then it can then be pulled into a different tab. So that's 3 tabs for searching something and then pulling up information that's being dynamically updated from another part of the spreadsheet. And I go, and the list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. And it's a very impressive spreadsheet.
It is a very,
so
very
many
impressive
complicated
spreadsheet.
Formulas.
It's just very, very funny that it's just for such a niche thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just so funny. And I was telling Rachel and Ripley, 2 friends, about it. And they were both like, what?
Yeah.
And they both made a comment about you being on the spectrum. I was like, yeah, like you spent so much time. Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding you. 5 hours legitimately feels like not even an hour. Mm-hmm. Not even an hour. Where I'll go, probably been working on this for a little bit, and I look up and it's like 5 hours later, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I was legitimately up to almost 1 o'clock every night last week working on this spreadsheet, and every time I'd go, shit, it's 1 o'clock again, and I'd have to force myself to close the laptop and stop working on this.
I was gonna say, now you know how it feels like to play The Sims, but I'm not that insane about it. So
yeah, I'd like to see you match me. Speaking of keynotes too, I knew the first keynote was going to be so god awful. So I brought the laptop and I was working on the spreadsheet, half listening, trying to just track like what was the actual important things he's being said. But I'm like, I can't sit here and listen to this keynote. So I was working on the spreadsheet, and the guy next to me leans over and he starts asking me questions about it. And he said he did the same thing for a different MMO, the Dungeons and Dragons MMO. I was like, hell yeah, that's sick. And we were talking away, and he's like, oh. And I said, oh, by the way, my name's Michael. And he's like, yeah, I know, my name's Michael too. And I was like, shit. And I looked at his tag, and I'm like, fuck, you're a customer of mine. Shit. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. To be fair, in probably every single meeting I've ever had with this guy, his web camera has been off.
Okay, so, I was like, damn, Michael, that's insane.
So it's like, not like I think maybe I've seen this guy's face like once or twice for a few minutes, never a full meeting. This particular organization just, I don't know, they're realistic about modern day work environments, and they allow you to have your camera off. So I was like, oh, fuck, sorry, man. He's like, oh, all good. He's like, man, you're kind of making me jealous, though. I wish I had my laptop here so I could work on a passion project. I was like, yeah, you wish you had my spreadsheet. So And then the last thing on this spreadsheet I wanted to bring up was I was required to go to this beach party reception for the conference. And the whole time, and I'm going to start calling these old man indicators, and I'm going to start tracking these. But right now, the two big ones I had off the top of my head was at the beach party reception with, mind you, free booze. Free, just like, yeah, it was free. The night of the drink was an Arnold Palmer. So it was free. I'm not saying that again. Free APs and free beer and free Trulies for the full 2.5 hours, right? Mm-hmm. Did not care at all about the beach party. All I wanted to do was go back to my hotel room and play with my spreadsheet the entire time. And I was like, who am I now?
No, exactly. Who are you? Past you would have absolutely messed up a free bar.
That was the pre-Faith, Michael.
What are you saying? I turned you boring?
I'm saying it coincided. I'll say that. Oh, not your fault.
Okay. Okay.
No, don't. Stop. It coincided in the I'm no longer going out phase at the same time that we started hanging out. Mm-hmm. Coincided.
That's okay. Maybe I got boring too, so it's fine.
You were always boring. What are you talking about?
I was not.
Okay. The other old man indicator was how much fun, or I shouldn't say fun, how enjoyable it is for me when I'm mowing the lawn and coming up with new patterns to be able to get the yard like done as efficiently as possible without having to overlap, because we have like a dumbass tree stump in the middle of the lawn, and we've got very irregular edges around the lawn. Mm-hmm. And it also is I think it's a rhombus is what I'm thinking of. I don't know. Too. But it's got one weird sharp angle on one side that is way further than the rest. So no matter what you do, it's pretty much impossible to do squares. Mm-hmm. And it bugs the shit out of me. So that's my other old man indicator. Having fun finding patterns in the yard. Mm.
Yeah, I had been talking about the same thing earlier this week too, about how I feel like I'm turning into like a 60-year-old woman that just like is grumpy. I don't know. Because one, my phone has really started to piss me off. That's an entire thing in itself. This phone drives me up a freaking wall. I hate it. The other thing is I get very annoyed with loud noises and lights. I don't feel like my spirit is a 23-year-old girl, you know? I feel like I've just morphed into this grandma that just likes her crafting hobbies and not loud noises. So, I'm glad that we're entering that phase together.
Oh. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up because we've got a brunch to get to. Mm-hmm. So my movie recommendation, which by the way, I got to watch so many movies in Vegas. Like I would just put a movie on in the background so that I could work through the spreadsheet, and it wasn't just this deafening silence of my hotel room on the 20th floor where nobody was ever at in the night because everyone was out gambling. Mm-hmm. So I watched a lot of movies. And Tubi was my best friend this week.
Mm-hmm. Tubi's pretty good.
I kind of struggled trying to pick one. And then it kind of occurred to me that this is the best option. 1980s Airplane. Mm. Oh, you've watched this?
No, I remembered seeing it, that you were watching it. Because I texted you and said hey, it's only on whatever you were watching it on for 3 more days.
So that is the thing. It's kind of rude of me to share this movie as the movie recommendation when it just left several streaming services. But it's also from 1980. There are ways to go and watch this movie if you want to step outside the law.
Yes.
Love a good spoof comedy, as you know. Mm-hmm. I watch a lot of spoof comedies. And this one pokes fun at the disaster movies of the 70s. Mm. So, a PTSD-afflicted ex-military pilot must take control of a passenger airplane when the entire crew becomes food sick. That's the summary of the movie. And there are a few things that I wanted to point out about this movie that kind of represent how wild this movie can be in its dialogue, or in its scenes. So they did subtitle translations for when the black guys were talking on the airplane.
Oh Lord.
And then the stewardess was like, I can't understand you. And this old woman walks up. She's like, oh, I speak their language. And then she starts speaking just like them. And they're like, who the fuck are you? And then she gets all pissy with them. And she's like, fine, if you want to get an attitude with me, good luck getting your own food. I was like, oh. She's like, oh, I speak jive. I was like, oh boy. And it was a very surprising performance, I'll say that. Then you have an 8-year-old girl. They didn't give me an exact age, but she looks like 8, 9, maybe 10, saying she likes her coffee like she likes her men black.
Oh, God.
And this movie is, of course, the origin of the famous line, I am serious and don't call me Shirley.
Oh.
Just to give a little background on the movie. I hope that's enough to entice you. It's a great movie. It's very funny. It feels very lampoony. It's very enjoyable. Like intentionally bad writing, but produced very well. That is the sweet spot that makes me a forever fan of a movie. I love it when producers and directors can manage to blend those two.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. Faith, what's your recommendation?
I think my recommendation, I haven't quite finished watching all of it yet, but I'm going to recommend it anyways. Hamilton. I know I'm so late to the game on this one. But with my TikTok, I have a lot of like edits of a lot of like different shows and stuff that I like. And almost every single one of them has used a Hamilton song. Hamilton is just very universal in its songs.
I think maybe the fact that you're watching it is what fuels greater number of TikToks being sent your way.
I got those before I started watching it. And that's why I wanted to watch it, because I was like, it's in everything. Hamilton, like, relates to everything. Like, it always comes back to Hamilton. And so...
I gotta disagree with you on that, Faith. I've never gotten a single Hamilton thing ever.
Like, all of, like, the fandoms, like, Avatar and The Last Airbender, heated rivalry. Oh, my God. Michael, say the word, please.
Heated rivalry.
Yes. I hate that word. That one, like, literally any other show that I've liked and have had edits of come across my TikTok, there's always been one Hamilton song. Hamilton just, like, fits every fandom. There's a song for every fandom. Anyways, so I was like, I want to watch...
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, but...
Lay off, Michael. So I was like, I want to watch Hamilton now. It's just so long that I've never been like, okay, I can sit down and watch this. And so I was like, who said I have to watch it in one sitting? And so I've been like, I think I've been watching it for like a few days now. I don't know when I started it, but I just watch a little bit at a time. And it's great. I'm having a great time. I do really like it so far. I do really like it.
I feel like being able to not watch a movie from start to finish, first of all, for me, very hard. But I feel like it's progressed to becoming even harder today. Like on DVDs, there were specific like chapters, right?
Yeah, like scenes
of a scene of a movie, and you could and you would know like, oh, cut to black, we're at the next building or whatever. Now's a good place to stop it. I feel like there's less of those in newer movies that are made for streaming, that are what's the word?
I feel like that's because when those older movies came out, they were also like on demand, like on like just regular TV, and there was commercial breaks. So they had these like stopping points, because that's where the commercials would be. Like they made it for that, like in that, with that in mind. I feel like designed they don't do that anymore.
I would say that, and I want to clarify here that I don't mean that I think that they don't do this at all anymore, or that they don't have like chapters in movies anymore. I just mean that it feels like there's significantly less obvious stopping points to take a break.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Hamilton, it's been easy to do that because it is a play. And so, like, at the end of the song, or, like, when they're, like, switching, you know, like, it's a play. So there's, like, some good stopping points in there, and that's, yeah. I just think it was funny because you made fun of me the other day for watching it in bits, in segments. So, anyways.
I don't think I made fun of you for that.
Yeah, I was watching it, and you were like, you're still not done with that yet? And I was like, no, I've been watching it.
No, okay, that's totally different. That's not me making fun of you for watching it in bits. That's me saying, how the hell are you still watching this a week later?
Okay, fair, yeah.
Totally different.